Hello, and welcome to Studio A. I'm Ethan Vaught. Joining me today are Mariah Whitley, Kason Asher, Connor Champagne, and Lindy Cochran. We'll have stories about a support group for students who deal with a number of different issues. I'll look at LGBT culture in San Marcos and Texas State's championship volleyball team. All those stories and more coming up next on Studio A. Some students carry a lot of baggage with them when they come to Texas State. One such student was Emily Lopez, who constantly suffers when it comes to her health. Connor Champagne visited with her.
Ethan, Emily's an extreme example of what some students find when they come to the campus in terms of health.
Emily Lopez is a student at Texas State who suffers from a number of different illnesses. She has generalized anxiety disorder, depression, type 2 bipolar disorder, fibromyalgia, and PCOS, which stands for polycystic ovary syndrome.
Anxiety and depression affect me every day, just from like intrusive thoughts or worriness, because I tend to worry a lot. And then with the fibromyalgia, I can get pain every day, or not so much one day, or so much the other. It just depends on like the weather and how I'm doing.
Lopez maintains a number of different support networks. She has seen multiple counselors and been through a number of different support programs. Lopez also is a member of an on-campus organization called I'm That Girl, which focuses on topics ranging from feminism to mental health.
Our meetings are a way like to talk about those struggles and for us to like support each other and to, recognize that, oh, I'm going through that exact same thing too. Like, oh, well, I've been through that, and so let me offer you my advice on like how I got through that. So I think it's like we're able to bounce off each other when we meet.
Lopez has suffered from different occasions of suicidal thoughts. She has cut herself in the past but has stopped short of taking her own life. She says it's because part of her still has hope that pushes her to keep going. For Studio A, I'm Connor Champagne.
Do you think these support groups are in helping students cope with stress?
Off-campus programs are probably a little better than on-campus programs. On-campus groups like I Am That Girl can be successful, but off-campus it costs a little money, so not all students can do it. But on-campus, you're very limited in the amount of counseling you can seek and other resources as well.
Texas State is known for its diverse student and faculty population. It values the differences in the cultures, regions, genders, sexualities, and other characteristics within the community with pride. On campus, the Office of Student Diversity and Inclusion, or SDI, provides programs for underrepresented students to promote interaction within the communities. The Comedy Association has open mic night at Buzzmill each week to showcase the diverse talent the community has to offer. Stand-up comic Norma Villatoro says discrimination is not a big issue here.
I actually don't see much discrimination in San Marcos. I feel that San Marcos is actually a very open place and very accepting place.
Off-campus, Stonewall Warehouse, named after the Stonewall riots that occurred in 1969, is the city's first and only gay bar. Matthew Cannon has done a drag queen story hour at Wake the Dead. He says being different is important.
In San Marcos, in the world, in Texas, and anywhere in the United States, there's a bunch of frickin' Cheerios. But you need to be a Fruit Loop. I told them. Be a Fruit Loop, an entire world of Cheerios.
For more information regarding programs and organizations available on campus, you can visit the SDI website. For Studio A, I'm Caitlin Stubbs.
So, Lindy, what other programs are they going to have with the San Marcos Cinema Club?
Well, in the spring, they have a 72-hour film race where entrants show up on a Thursday, find out what their film is going to be about, and then work just throughout the weekend. And then on Sunday, they screen those films. And they also do a music flicks from the 666 series where local artists can get together with editors and create a local music video, and then they screen those as well.
Cool, I love local bands.
A bright gold shipping container sits on campus and looks a little bit out of place. But Mariah Whitley says if you go in, you can interact with people from all over the world.
Yes, Ethan, it's a portal that takes you to a virtual world. Instead of spending lots of money traveling to Africa or the Caribbean, all you have to do is step inside and take a look. The Texas State Portal is a gold shipping container that uses audio and visual technology to connect students around the world.
The technology is actually really simple. It's just like there are these lights. There is it's just a projector and a computer, and we use like Zoom. So it's kind of like FaceTiming, but I try to not think about it that way because it's very different also.
Many students walk past this shipping container every day and have no idea what it's used for. The Texas State Portal offers students a variety of cultural benefits.
I think just the ability to speak globally and just connect with other students, other people that you normally wouldn't have the opportunity to or experience to on the Texas State campus. I think it's an important way for classes, especially language classes, to be able to speak with native speakers.
The portal is run by Texas State Galleries and the School of Art and Design here on campus. You can find this gold shipping container located on the quad between Evans and Flowers Hall. The Texas State Portal will remain open from now until December 14th. For Studio A, this is Mariah Whitley.
So Mariah, you've been to the portal. Of all the countries that you visited, what would be your favorite?
I would have to say that Rwanda was my favorite. You definitely got to see the culture, and just talking to people in a different country is pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Texas State can lay claim to lots of outstanding graduates. One alumnus who has made his mark is a man named Mike Kikarillo. Connor Champagne shot a story about him.
Ethan? Mike is a prominent Texas State grad, largely because of his regular job as director of broadcasting for the San Antonio Spurs. Ashley Galvan reports.
Mike Kikarillo is one of Texas State's distinguished alumni and has recently been inducted into the KTSW Hall of Fame. He started at KTSW, then called Cat Radio in 1985. He now serves as the director of broadcasting for the Spurs.
So I went straight to work, post-graduation, moved to San Antonio. At the time, KSAT, Channel 12, was the flagship TV station of the Spurs. They had 41 of their games on each season. And so a lot of the production for the Spurs was through KSAT. And I just kind of took it upon myself to do some work there on their shows. And after a while, Spurs came to me, they had an opening, and asked if I wanted to come join them. But then I became a game producer, a game director. And then after several years of doing that, they elevated me to director of broadcasting.
Kikarillo has been with the Spurs for 28 seasons, going on his 29th, and has served as the director of broadcasting for 18 years and as senior director for 3. Kikarillo's accomplishments also include a short tenure at KSAT, as well as several shows he produced before moving into the Spurs game production.
The Tritus one is the crew that I work with every day. They're awesome. We have so much fun doing what we do. There's such joy in what we do. And it's always a highlight.
Kikarillo's team is comprised of a lot of Texas State graduates and alumnus. By the end of the season, Kikarillo will have worked around 2,600 games for the Spurs. Kikarillo says that getting noticed by the team with coverage of them is a great way to get hired. For Studio A, I'm Ashley Galvan.
Located off the San Marcos River, there is a famous local holiday tradition. It's time for families to get together and get into the holiday spirit. Right, Connor?
That's right, Lindy. The river is certainly beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and it should. It's a sights and sounds of Christmas.
Sights and Sounds is a San Marcos tradition that has been ongoing for 32 years. The annual event occurs over 2 weeks and is completely non-profit and volunteer run. This year, the event features a main stage, 20 unique vendors, and a multitude of other activities.
I think the biggest thing is getting some Christmas shopping done. I think that's a big part of Santa's gift shop is, and I think people look forward to buying some Christmas gifts there. I know I get a lot there. I think my favorite is the marblies. They're these cute little animals made out of marbles, and it's like my favorite thing. I buy one every year, so I have quite the collection going.
All proceeds from Sights and Sounds spread from one year to the next. Due to the way that revenue functions, the event can continuously grow and expand. The only resource that Sights and Sounds is desperately in need of is a growing volunteer force.
Because we are continuously growing, with that comes a need for more people, whether it's board members or event volunteers. We definitely have a lot of people that assist with the event, but with something this large, we could always use more help.
Sights and Sounds' main entrance is located at 401 East Hopkins Street. The event will take place from November 28th to December 1st, and December 5th to December 8th. For more information, visit their website at sights-in-sound.org. For Studio A, I'm Connor Champagne.
So Connor, while you were at Sights and Sounds working on this story, did you happen to stop by the shops and buy anything?
Yeah, I did. I actually bought 3 little ornaments that had my name and my 2 little sisters' names on it. I bought them because we can't ever find my sister Brenna and my sister Alexis's names because they're not very common. And I thought it'd be nice for my mom to have something, especially since we're all going away to college.
How nice.
Texas State is facing what appears to be a shortage in housing for freshmen. There are scores of freshmen currently living off campus in a number of different places. Connor Champagne went out to find more.
Mariah, one of the issues with putting freshmen off campus is it's hard to integrate them into, everyday campus life.
That's
The Department of Housing and Residential Life is currently housing 50 freshmen in the local. They also have allowed 400 to 450 freshmen live off campus due to various reasons. These freshmen, who number at almost 500, are going to suffer some major disadvantages.
My main concern is their ability to connect to someone on this campus who can guide them. And when you live on campus, not only do you have a full-time professional staff member, the residence director who lives in the hall, but you also have some pretty highly trained RAs whose sole job it is to help get you to the right place.
The RA experience helps freshmen to learn about available resources on campus and serves as an emotional support system. According to Dr. Freud, in national research, freshmen off campus suffer from a lower grade point average and are less likely to return the next year.
There's something about that experience of being in a residence hall and having the kind of support that we offer that is that makes a difference for our students.
Texas State's housing situation is expected to recover next year with the completion of Blanco Hall's renovation. There are also plans to tear down several of the other halls to build a larger housing facility.
And that looks right now like will be upwards of 950 beds that will be opening in the fall of 2021. So we're going to manage our numbers really carefully between now and then.
With this being the largest ever freshman class and the enrollment rate of freshmen climbing higher and higher every year, the number of upperclassmen who get on-campus housing is expected to decrease. For Studio A, I'm Connor Champagne.
So Connor, I'm interested to know, with Texas State taking in all these extra students to the point where they don't have enough room in the dorms, what's being done to fix this problem?
So there's actually several things that are happening right now. Currently, we lost Elliott Hall, which was about 180 bed spaces. It's going to be turned into an academic and classroom kind of building and offices. So what's going to happen is Blanco's actually finishing a renovation here next semester, and next year, not next semester, and it's going to open up about 150 beds to help compensate, and then after that, we're going to be building over on Hornsby and Burleson, which were halls that didn't have AC, who've been shut down for a number of years now, and that hall is actually going to be a 3-building hall, and it's going to have hundreds and hundreds of beds, honestly.
The University Police Department is facing a shortage in several different positions with the departure of the latest police chief, Jose Viñales. Viñales was only with the school for about 2 years.
The chief left a lot of people left for various reasons of their own and went to other places. Yeah, well, I like to see people stay a little longer and put a little more effort. I don't feel like the school can get their money's worth out of it if you don't stay at least 5 years. It takes a while for somebody just to learn the position here and learn the university community and policies, procedures, and how things flow here. And usually, you have to commit to about 5 years to really make a difference here.
Ricky Laddie has been with the campus since 1984. However, he does not want to be considered for the position of police chief, in part due to his proximity to retirement and his happiness with his current position as captain. There will also be an internal committee assisted by an external search firm when it comes to the selection process.
Okay, so we'll have representation of from students, faculty, and staff will all have a voice on the selection committee. We're being assisted by an external search firm. Spellman & Johnson is the name of the company, and they have a particular expertise and depth of talent when it comes to helping universities search for chiefs of police.
The internal committee has yet to be selected. Spellman & Johnson will be on campus October 1st to meet with student leaders for a group discussion regarding the new police chief. For Studio A, I'm Connor Champagne.